If you've recently purchased an Osprey Levity backpack or you're thinking about buying one, in this video I'll show you how to use this backpack effectively.
Hey folks, Kurt Papke coming to you from Tucson, Arizona. Recording at my home today because for the video I'm making I need a few items like bear canisters that I normally don't carry into the backcountry. What I'm going to be doing today is going over the Osprey Levity 60 backpack. My extensive written review of this pack can be found on backpackgeartest.org. I've used the pack for 5 trips, 70 miles, 11 days, over very diverse terrain, everything from the Arizona Trail here in Arizona to the Continental Divide Trail in Colorado. So I've got some good time on the pack, and I'd like to show you a couple things that you can use to make sure that you're happy with the pack and you use it successfully. The pack has a few interesting idiosyncrasies. One of them, and this is actually somewhat common to the Osprey packs, is the high amount of ventilation on the back here. This is unusual for an ultralight pack, but it's got this mesh backing. There's no padding on the back. This mesh, this flexible mesh, keeps the pack away from your back, allowing airflow to go through your back, and also provides some cushioning. But the flip side of that is you have a convex surface on the inside of the pack. Both vertically and horizontally the pack is convex, which makes it a bit of a challenge to pack. It has interesting hip belts. The hip belts are made totally out of mesh with just a tiny little bit of padding in there. But they're very comfortable, and I've carried loads well over the rated 30 pounds total weight for the pack. They do not have hip belt pockets, however. So one of the things that I've done is attached a little accessory bag here, a camera bag actually, to one of the elastic bands on the shoulder belt. And in here I keep things like my iPhone, my Delorme InReach, PLB, etc. Things that I would normally put in a hip belt pocket, things that I need access to during the day where I don't want to have to take the pack off. So it's right here available on my shoulder belt. The second thing about the pack are these side pockets. They're pretty tight. They're not elastic in any way. So you have to be careful what type of water bottles you use in the side pockets. These smart water bottles work reasonably well because they have a fairly narrow profile. Osprey does provide a side opening here that does have some elastic to it, interestingly enough. But with any kind of a sizable water bottle, you can maybe get the bottle out, but getting it back in again while reaching around behind you is going to be a bit of a challenge. So I have not used these side entries for the side pockets very successfully. So a smart water bottle helps, works well. The other thing that works well are these platypus soft water bottles. They have a nice narrow profile, so they fit in nicely. The pockets are actually fairly spacious. I can put in a 1 liter water bottle and my tent poles in the same pocket, and they ride just fine. The third thing about this pack is the lid does not float. There are not adjustable straps in the back here that allow the lid to float up. So as a result, if you're thinking about carrying a pad like this Z-Lite pad, you pretty much have to strap it to the front of the pack. The good news is Osprey provided a number of attachment points for this pack, a tremendous number of attachment points actually. So it's very easy to find a spot to strap it onto the pack. But if I take it off here and try to pack it under the lid, you can see that just is not going to work. The straps aren't even long enough to reach up there. So the pad is not going to fit underneath that lid. So that's the other issue with it. The next thing with this pack, I already mentioned the fact that the interior is convex, both horizontally and vertically. The good news is the main compartment of this pack is huge. You can see I've got a tremendous amount of stuff in here, including I'm preparing for a rim to rim to rim hike on the Grand Canyon in December, and so I'm taking a 0-degree synthetic sleeping bag with me to stay warm at night, and you can see that actually fits horizontally in the bottom of this pack. So inside here, I've been using the 2.5 liter hydration reservoir that Osprey recommends that you use with this pack. It works really, really nicely. It's got a nice hydration sleeve in here. However, that does accentuate the convex nature or the convex shape of the back part of this pack, which can make packing a little bit challenging. So I find what works well is to pack things like my tent or my clothing vertically, like this, on either side, so that allows the pack to bulge in towards the main compartment, but still allows me to pack the main compartment full. The main compartment, in combination with all the other pockets on the pack, this is a large size pack because I have a very long torso. So this is 62, 63 liters, somewhere in that range. But you can fill this up. This main compartment is absolutely huge. So I can take a whole week's worth of gear and food and not feel like I'm having to overpack the pack. The front pocket is pretty conventional. It is not stretch. So when the main compartment is fully loaded, there isn't a tremendous amount of room in this front pocket, but it's plenty for rain gear and things like that you might need during the day. So when it comes to bear canisters, this pack has plenty of room. This is a Bear Vault 350, and it can go in sideways right in the middle, or it can go in vertically. So a 350 sized Bear Vault works just great in this pack, no problems. A bigger canister like the 450 or the 500 is a little bit different in that it does not fit sideways. The pack is not quite large enough for it to fit in sideways. And the problem with putting it in vertically, in this case because of the hydration bladder, it will fit in the middle, but there's not a whole lot of room on either side to fit other stuff in. So fitting the larger bear canister in here with a hydration reservoir that's full is a little bit of a stretch. But the smaller ones work just great. One other thing about this pack, it has a 3.5 millimeter aluminum frame. You can see it's actually visible. It's on the outside of the pack here. It's an extremely rigid frame. This pack can actually stand up on its own even when it's empty. But this live wire frame, I would treat it not with kid gloves, but treat it carefully. I would not check this pack as baggage without encasing it in a duffel bag or something to protect it. And I've used it for 4 months and no issues, but I did not just wildly sling it around in my camp and throw it on the ground. I treated it with respect, and it holds up very well if you do so. So that's it. That's my guide to the Osprey Levity 60 pack and how to use it best. If you have any questions, please comment in the comments below of the video. Thanks a lot for watching. If you like this video, you found it useful, click like or subscribe below, or leave me a comment. Thanks a lot.